Welcome to Android app development. In this explainer, we're going to decode exactly what Android is and how it essentially runs the modern mobile world. Let's get right into it. Here's our game plan for today. What is Android, version evolution, core features, Android architecture, real-world apps, and then we'll wrap it up with our conclusion. Before we get into the heavy tech details, I have a quick question for you. What operating system powers over 3 billion active devices worldwide? I mean, think about the phone in your pocket, maybe the tablet sitting on your desk, or even that smart TV in your living room. The answer is, well, it's a staggering 3 billion plus. Over 3 billion monthly active users rely on the Android operating system. To put that into perspective, that is nearly half the planet's population. This massive global scale, that right there is exactly why learning this ecosystem has such incredible business and career value. You aren't just learning to write code, you're literally learning how to build software for half the world. All right, section 1. What is Android? Let's define the OS. So at its absolute core, the operating system is known as the Android Open Source Project, or AOSP. It's an open source mobile OS developed by Google based on a modified Linux kernel, and it's built primarily for touchscreen devices, smartphones, tablets. Now, what's really fascinating here is that it was originally designed to solve the problems of early mobile devices. We're talking phones with barely any memory and super slow processors. Google's big vision was to give developers a robust set of APIs, basically digital building blocks, and a really smooth user interface, even with those intense hardware limits. Let's hit a few rapid-fire foundational facts. Google actually acquired Android way back in 2005. It is totally open source under the Apache license, which is huge because it means device makers can tweak it before putting it on their hardware. As for the coding itself, developers primarily use Java and Kotlin. And today, billions of users choose Android simply because it's insanely flexible, incredibly powerful, and famously user-friendly. Moving right along to Section 2, Evolution of Android Versions. Man, Android's history is such a fun, nostalgic trip. For years, Google named its Android updates after desserts, and in alphabetical order too. You probably remember early ones like Cupcake, Donut, Eclair, eventually moving up to Kit Kat, Oreo, and Pie. It was a really quirky part of their history. But, as the system grew up and went fully global, they transitioned to modern numeric names like Android 12, 13, and 14, just to keep things globally clear and simple for everyone. Let's map out that timeline real quick. Like I said, Google bought it in 2005. The very first commercial release, Android 1.0, dropped in September 2008 on the HTC Dream. Very shortly after, in 2009, we got Cupcake. Fast forward to today, and we're looking at modern releases like Android 16. The big takeaway here is that with every single incremental update, this system has gotten incredibly faster, much smarter, and way more secure. Okay, Section 3, Core Features. What actually makes it so powerful? Well, Android brings an amazingly rich feature set to the table for both users and developers. It supports true multitasking, so you can run multiple apps at the exact same time. It's got highly customizable home screen widgets, really rich interactive notifications, seamless cloud sync, advanced AI support, and a rock-solid permission-based security model. And the coolest part? Developers can tap into all of this to build apps that run flawlessly, not just on phones, but on smart TVs, smartwatches, and even inside cars. Section 4, the Android architecture. Time to peel back the layers. The best way to think about Android's architecture is like a giant layered cake, or a stack of building blocks. Understanding this structure is absolutely crucial if you want to build really efficient apps. It's got multiple layers working together to connect the raw physical hardware down at the very bottom, all the way up to the shiny digital interface at the top. Let's just methodically walk up this stack. Down at the ground floor, we have the Linux kernel. This handles the raw stuff: memory, power, hardware drivers. Right above that is the hardware abstraction layer, or HAL, which basically acts as a bridge between that physical hardware and the software. Next up sits the Android runtime and native libraries. This is what actually runs your applications smoothly. Then we hit the application framework, giving developers handy tools like activity managers and notifications. And finally, at the very top, the applications layer. That is where all your downloaded apps actually live. Just to make sure this is crystal clear, let's contrast the deepest layer with the developer-facing layer. The Linux kernel is all about raw, fundamental operations, right? It securely manages device memory, audio drivers, power. It's purely focused on keeping the machine running. But the application framework, that is what you, the developer, actually interact with. It provides the APIs, controls notifications, and manages how things look on screen. It essentially hides all that crazy kernel complexity so you can just focus on building an awesome app. Section 5. Apps in the real world. So, when you actually sit down to build, what language do you use? Well, as this quote highlights, Kotlin has totally become the go-to language for Android development. Google officially endorsed it as their preferred language. Java is definitely still vital, for sure, but Kotlin's modern features actually help prevent common app crashes, handle background tasks smoothly, and it plays perfectly with older Java code. It's absolutely the modern tool of choice for new projects. Now let's talk about your developer toolkit. Your main home base will be Android Studio. It's an integrated development environment, basically your ultimate digital workbench tailored perfectly for this OS. You'll write your Kotlin or Java code here, test your apps instantly on built-in virtual emulators, and optimize everything using performance profilers. Plus, it's worth mentioning there's a huge rising trend of low-code and no-code platforms right now, making app deployment incredibly fast and accessible for entrepreneurs and small businesses. And what exactly are we building with all these tools? Literally everything that powers modern daily life. Android is the foundation for highly secure mobile banking, massive e-commerce platforms, food delivery apps, high-performance gaming, advanced AI integrations, and the social media networks connecting the globe. Choosing to learn Android development validates your ability to build real solutions for massive, highly lucrative industries. Section 6, Conclusion. Let's recap and talk next steps. To ease your cognitive load and bring this all together, let's recap. We started with that mind-blowing 3 billion active user scale. We took a fun trip through the historical timeline, from Cupcake to modern numerical updates. We outlined powerful features like multitasking. We dissected that 5-layer cake architecture, and we explored the real-world toolkits and use cases that totally define modern development. So where do we go from here? Well, the immediate next step in your educational journey is getting your hands dirty. We'll be looking at installing the Android Studio IDE and configuring your local development environment so you have the perfect sandbox to start experimenting. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. You now know exactly what Android is and how its foundation is built. You understand its architecture and the massive scale of the opportunity. The only question left is, are you ready to open your laptop and write your first line of code? Thanks so much for joining us, Explainer, and keep learning.